Welcome back to Universe. I'm Andrew, and today I'm playing Witchbound. So this is a game that was crowdfunding a couple months back on GameFound, and I totally meant to cover it. In fact, I contacted the designer and I expressed my interest in it, and he responded and sent me the print and play PDF. However, I did not see the attachment. All I saw was the affirmative answer, and so then I waited for him to actually send me the attachment, which he had already sent me. So then the campaign closed. I just figured he forgot or something. And by a coincidence, I later happened to be looking through my old emails and saw that he had attached it. And it's totally my fault that I just didn't follow up. I just didn't do it. So happy to announce that it is now in late pledging. You can pledge now for a late backing to the game. I'll have a link in the description. I'm not sure how long that's going to stay open, but I expect it'll be at least a few weeks that you'll have to jump in. So here's a quick look at some pictures from the campaign page. You can see nice full color. This is all temporary, it's all concept art, but the print and play I'm going to be using today is just black and white. So I'm going to make sure to give you a chance to see what the actual final art is intended to look like. Beautiful scene here and a nice little street. And this is kind of like, I don't know if point and click adventure the game is the right term. I don't have enough video game pedigree to make those comparisons, but it's definitely inspired by certain genres of video game. And I'm going to be playing in Photoshop because instead of printing out this stuff, so I can just play digitally here. And if you've played this or if you've seen any other coverage of the game, this is probably the same demo scenario that any other content creators may have played through. So it's probably not going to be anything new here. I have kind of watched them, but I didn't like totally watch them. So I know a little bit of what to expect, but I think there'll still be room to get surprised a little bit and of course experience it for myself and show you in case you haven't seen it on any other YouTube channels, even though I'm a few months late. And then actually the post-campaign funding actually opened up last week, but I was on a work trip and now I'm actually homesick, so forgive my voice. But let's go ahead and get started. Part 1, prologue. So yeah, this is part of one of the books which will just be full of these text entries with story and stuff like that. And this is entry 1, a whisper, a wish, and awakening. You wake up with a start, finding yourself in your bedroom. You've been hearing the same whispered voice every night since you arrived on the island. Find me, repeated 3 times. When you mentioned it to your grandmother, she just smiled and told you to embrace the island's mysteries. She says that the island is still infused with magic, even though it's been over a century since the last witch lived. Despite this, the voice seems to be calling out to you, and you aren't one to ignore opportunity for adventure. It's time to find what is clearly trying to be found. Begin story prologue. Objective, find the source of the whispers. So I guess now we jump to the scenes and we're in this bedroom. It includes the rules for sleeping. I don't think we need to sleep right now though. Basically roll a d6 and follow the instructions here. We can regain some of our health and focus and maybe lose an item to the poltergeist. So it might make sense to just have an extra offering to the poltergeist in our inventory. Here's our character sheet. And we started with 5 health and focus. We also have some basic abilities to inspect, which is just to look up something in the book according to its number. We can travel if there is basically a page number on the page. We can turn to it. We can also investigate something by appending 1 to the beginning of a number, or we can touch something by appending 2. We cannot touch NPCs, but we can say hello to them using this prompt, and both hello and touch use the number 2. So in the mechanics of the game, that means that touching and saying hello to something are the same thing, although obviously thematically distinct whether it is a person or thing. And we have a slingshot with 9 pebbles, and so this is our 9 inventory of pebbles here, and then we can use our slingshot by using the entry 3, the number 3. So we'll see how that works in a second. I expect, and this is for some encounters, which we'll probably see later. So as you can see down here, this says MO2. I think that's all we have to do here right now is to just go to MO2. I named my layers accordingly. So let's go over to MO2. And you can see we've just come from down upstairs. So if we went back upstairs, we go to MO1, which is where we just were. So we're coming downstairs and we're in Granny's shop. And I can see the number 24 right here. And I can see the number 50 right here on this door. So let's start by talking to Granny. Oh, we can also go outside by going to MO3. But for now, let's talk to Granny at 24. So I'll scroll down. And there's actually no 24 because we can't just, I guess we have to say hello. So let's use our hello interaction to say hello. So we're going to use say hello by using the digit number 2. We're going to add 2 to 24. So we're going to get 224. And maybe that will let me talk to grandmother. So there we go. Hello there, dear. Care for a fresh muffin? Gain item muffin number 37. So put that in my inventory somewhere. Wonder if that's an item or a key item. Let's just call it a regular item. And we just have one. Sorry, we have one, but it is number 37. So let's number it 37. And I guess I'll fill in one little inventory of muffin. If you've completed the quest Fresh Flowers, the interaction ends here. Well, I haven't finished Fresh Flowers, so I'll continue reading. I wonder if I might ask a small favor of you. Could you please bring me some fresh flowers for the guest rooms? They do add a nice bit of color. Here are a few coins if you need them. So I also gain 4 coins, number 7, and I guess that is a totally separate entry on its own, and I have 4 coins. So put that really big here. And quest Fresh Flowers. Get flowers for the granny. Down here is where we can put our quests. So let's put Fresh Flowers. And that concludes that interaction, I guess. So from here, I could go ahead and go into the storeroom, or I can go look for flowers. So I doubt the flowers are down there. So let's just go out to MO3. And here's that same picture we saw, but with no color for printer friendliness. We also have a couple extra points of interaction, so we could talk to Marin or Petal or Carrie and try to find some flowers. Well, it looks like Marin is a bug catcher, based judging by that net. They might know where flowers are. Oh, I also see there's a number in the well, 67, kind of hidden there. We can go inside this shop at MO2, that's where we just came out of. So this must be where we're coming out. And then Petal is named like a flower, so she's kind of on the way over here. It looks like Carrie's already talking to somebody, so I won't interrupt here. Oh, look, the little bird's nest, number 59. Let's go over to 38. Let's talk to Petal at 38. So we'll say hello, so it'll be 238. And hi, I have a most wondrous selection of flowers for sale. Care to take a look? You may purchase any of the items below. Don't forget to reduce your coins. Item flowers, number 38 for 2 coins. Does that entry continue to the next page? No, it does not. So I guess I'm going to buy some flowers. Aptly named Petal has them for sale. I'm going to spend 2 coins for 1 flowers, 38. So coins goes down to 2. And let's gain flowers, 38, and get one of those. Well, that means I can just go right back inside and turn that in. So let's go back to MO2 right here. Talk to Granny again, 224. Although it says if I haven't completed the quest, I stop reading. I haven't really completed it, have I? So you know what? I need to use a different mechanism. I need to give Granny the flowers, and I can do that by combining the number 38 with Granny's number 24. So I'm going to look up 3824. That's what I need to do. 3824. Thank you, dear. These are lovely. So there you go. That's the magic of this system, is creatively deciding when to append or concatenate these numbers. You combine the thing you want to do. In this case, it would give flowers or just flowers. I want to flowers Granny, and combine those 2 strings of numbers, 3824. So I lose the flowers, and they've even written it like a computer program here. If you've completed the quest, well, I haven't yet. Even though I gave her flowers, it doesn't say I've completed it. The interaction ends here. If not, continue reading. I appreciate you helping me with those. So you can't repeat the quest because you can give her flowers as many times as you want, but you only get to complete the quest 1 time. So now I'm going to complete the quest, Fresh Flowers. I appreciate you helping me with those. That said, I do have another ask of you before you run off. I've been hearing some sounds down in the cellar at night. I'm sure it's just pesky nibblers, but those steps are hard on my old legs. Perhaps you wouldn't mind going down there to figure out where they are coming from. Do be careful though, dear, as they like to bite. Gain quest nightly noises and gain the cellar key 12. Oops, I actually removed a pebble. Flowers are gone, but I gained a cellar key, which I can use on the cellar door. That was item number 12. I'm gaining nightly noises, and let's just draw a quick check here, finish that quest. So I guess now I want to use that cellar key to go down the stairs, and I wonder if I could just use 50. So I guess normally it would just be 250 if I just try to open that door without touching it. Let's see what would have happened if I just used 250. You reach for the handle, but the door is locked and doesn't budge. But now that I have the key, I can use 1250. Yeah, 12 should be down here. The key fits snugly into the lock, and the door opens, revealing a staircase leading down into a dimly lit room. Path discovered to M04. So now I'm down here. I can go back upstairs to M02, but otherwise I'm down here. And let's see what I find. Obviously, I see the number 98 on this crate here. So I could touch that, and I don't see anything else. So let's touch 298. Again, 2 to touch and 98 because that's the number on the crate. Moving the crates aside, you can see a hole in the base of the wall, easily big enough for you to crawl through. Peering into the hole, you only see darkness, but can hear the squeals of more nibblers deep within. Gain prompt, secret tunnel. I'm not sure what the prompts are yet. Oh, prompts. Okay, so hello is a prompt. And now I have a secret tunnel prompt, which is number 4. So I guess that's a new way to interact with this crate then. Path discovered, scene M05. I wonder how I'm supposed to demark that. If I'm supposed to write M05 somewhere, or if I'm just supposed to go there now. I wonder if I use 498. No, that doesn't exist. So I guess I just go to scene M05, and it looks like that puts us here. The cave interior. I see something I missed. So this A down here is actually really important. So as soon as I came into this room, that triggered an encounter. The letter A means I need to go find encounter A, which is this nibbler swarm who appears in the room. And now there's an additional point of interaction in the room, which is the nibbler swarm with number 19, which can turn into 10, but currently is 19. While it's active, which is right now, I lose a heart each time I interact with anything else. So actually, I'm supposed to deal with this nibbler swarm before I can even look at this crate. The nibbler swarm is supposed to appear. Feel like you get used to it, but a little triangle off on the side is not an obvious way to denote that. But yeah, maybe if you get used to it, you look for that first. It's a little confusing that the iconography doesn't match. Like this is a burst and this is a triangle. But let's go ahead and interact with the nibbler swarm now. We're going to retcon that crate opening. And let's see. So I can't do the secret tunnel because I don't have that yet. I could say hello to it. I could try to say hello to the nibbler swarm. Or touch it, as those are the same prompt number. I could investigate it, I assume. It just means like to look at it. I could give it a muffin. I could use a cellar key on it somehow. Or I could use my slingshot with some pebbles. I don't think we want to train nibblers to hang out in the cellar, especially if it's keeping Granny up at night. So I'm going to go ahead and use the pebbles and try to scare them away. Maybe if they were in the backyard, outside, we could feed them, but not in the cellar. That is a sanitary hazard. So I'm going to use 319 as my entry, and it says I lose a pebble. The pebble hits one of the creatures and it squeals in pain before it runs off, but the others continue to bite you when they get close. I lose a heart. So I'm going to lose a pebble and a heart. So I guess the slingshot's not going to finish them off, and if I want to do anything, I can leave at any time. So the rules are pretty clear that if I want to, I can just go to MO2 and just leave. There's no penalty or attack opportunity or anything like that. I can use the slingshot again, but it's just going to be the same entry. Nothing changed. So I'm just going to keep losing pebbles and losing hearts. There are plenty of nibblers. So I guess I just have to give them a muffin. And hopefully I can figure out how to get rid of them later. So the muffin is going to be 3719, which says I lose the muffin. The muffin hits the floor and the creatures swarm it, scrambling over each other to get to the food. Most of them seem momentarily distracted. The encounter reacts and changes to 10. Okay, so now I'll try to say hello to them. Do 210 just to see what happens. You reach for one of the creatures and pick it up. It squirms in your hand while squealing, then manages to turn and bite your hand, causing you to drop it. It then returns to scrambling at the food of the ground. Well, I don't want to risk shooting them with a pebble now. I've lost my muffin, but now we can go ahead and go to the crate. I lost my muffin. And I guess now we can go down. And one thing to note is that anytime I come into this room, the nibbler swarm will appear. Again, there's no penalties for just ignoring them and leaving, but because of their ability, there is a penalty for doing anything other than interacting with them. And they reappear and reset every time. So that there's no memory. I don't have to remember that I've shifted them to 10 now, except for as long as I'm here. Right now, they're on 10. But if I leave and come back, they'll be back, and they'll be back on 19. So, yeah, but for now, the muffin is good enough to let me go to 98 or 298, which is where I found the instructions. I got the secret tunnel, and I'm going to go ahead and go to MO5. And this has encounter B, so let's get that one. And this is complete darkness. You can't interact with anything in this scene until this encounter is defeated. All right, so I see a crate here, 86. I see a little mound here, 62, but I can't do any of that because I can't actually see it. Thematically speaking, encounter B brings out card B, which is complete darkness. And I have to deal with 87. I don't think I have anything that I would expect to deal with that. I have pebbles, a cellar key. I have information about a secret tunnel, and I know how to say hello. Also, I just realized I skipped another thing, which is when I used the slingshot, it has this icon here, right here, this targeting icon, which you can also see on the equipment section and in the spells section. Those two are empty, but those three icons mean the same thing, which is whenever I use anything from one of those spots, I have to spend a focus. So I actually spent one of my focus to shoot that pebble, even though it was not very effective. And I think all I can do now is just back out because I can't interact with anything and I can't imagine a cellar door is going to light up the place. So I'm just going to go back to MO4, which is totally allowed. Although the nibbler swarm respawns because of the A symbol here, they are back to the beginning. They finished off the muffin. They're all back. And now I can't even distract them again because I don't have another muffin. Although imagine I've already discovered the tunnel. So I feel like, should I have somewhere to write that down, that I have that MO5 map information? Or I just have to remember that. That one is a little bit confusing, but I'm not going to interact with anything. I'm just going to move again up to MO2 and then outside to MO3. And I'm going to look around, talk to some other people, and see if I can find a torch or candle or something. So let's go ahead and talk to Marin, 233. Hi, I want to see my new friends. I just caught them. They are called glow bugs because they glow in the dark. The girl looks up at you and her eyes light up. Hey, you look like a witch. I wish I could pretend to be a witch too, but I don't have any of that cool stuff. So that is the backstory of the game. Not a secret. There used to be witches here. There aren't any witches here anymore. Everybody loves witches, but there aren't any. But you just might be one. So I think the adventure is going to be the main character coming into her own as a witch. Gain a quest. Wannabe witch. Help Marin pretend to be a witch somehow. So let's mark down wannabe witch. And that's it. So do I have anything I could give her that would make her witch-like? Not really. Let's go ahead and interrupt this conversation over here. 245. Oh, hello. Can you help settle an argument for us? My sister thinks the muffins from the inn are blueberry, but I say they're elderberry. Problem is, we spent our last money at the gift shop, so we can't buy any muffins. Gain quest, berry bickering. Help the sisters figure out the muffin flavor. Already gave away my muffin. I wonder does Granny give me another muffin? Let's go back inside and talk to Granny, 224. See if she gives me another muffin. Forget. Care for a fresh muffin? She gives me a muffin. All right, so I got a muffin again. And now I'm going to go back to 3 and give them a muffin. Muffin is item 37. So I'm going to do 3745. It says, is that for me? Those muffins are so delicious. Thank you. Lose the muffin. If you've completed the quest, the interaction ends here. I haven't. She takes a large bite of the muffin and looks intently at her sister as she chews. I knew it. They are elderberry. Thank you for proving me right. I have an extra wand from the gift shop. Here, you take it. Thanks. So I gain a wand, item number 33, and complete berry bickering. So let's do that. And then let's go give the wand to the wannabe witch. So 33 was the wand. And I'm just going to go 33 here. And she says, that's a really cool wand if you've completed the quest, but I haven't. Is that really for me? I always wanted to pretend to be a witch. Thank you. Thank you. Here, take this. So I lose the wand. I gain the glow bug and I complete wannabe witch. So glow bug 46. Glow bug 46. I got one of those. And I assume that would light up a cave, wouldn't it? So there's a couple more things I could interact with. For example, well, let's go ahead and look down the well at 267. The water ripples when you reach in, but nothing else happens. What if I could light it up? I don't want to lose my glow bug, but I don't think I will. I'm gonna try to light it up. Maybe I can see something with the glow bug. The glow bug is 4667. Bottle lands in the water with a splash and floats there. The bug inside goes completely still, but nothing else happens. Well, it doesn't say I lose the bug, so I guess I can get it back. And then let's look up in this tree. 259. The nest is too high to reach. I wonder if I could have used that wand while I had it. So I kind of missed out on that. I could shoot my sling at the nest, but that just seems rude to the bird, so I'm not going to do that. I don't see anything else popping out at me. There can definitely be hidden numbers and things like that, but I'm kind of excited to use my glow bug. So let's go back inside to MO2 and then down the cellar, which we know leads us down to here. Again, the nibblers are back, but I should be able to move to MO4, I think. Again, that's still a niggling bit here. I'm a bit confused about if there's some way to mark that I have that without permanently marking the games. That's one thing, is this game is a story. You play through it, and you could play through it. The idea is it's not legacy. You're not destroying any components. At least I believe that to be the case. But you will have played through the story and uncovered a lot of it, if not all of it. There are definitely different ways you can do things. At least that's how they make it sound from the campaign page. You can do it more than once and have a different experience. But the main beats of the story are probably going to be pretty similar, I think. But again, nothing's destroyed. So maybe a few years down the road, you want to play it again, or maybe you want to share it with a friend or a kid, or play together as a family or something like that, which is why I'm thinking it wouldn't be a sticker, because that would be kind of destructive. But how else would you mark that you know the way from this room down into MO5, which is where I'm going now? I don't know. But now B means this complete darkness card comes out. So I'm going to interact with the complete darkness by using the glow bug plus 87. Glow bug being 46, so 4687. Holding the bottle out, the bug inside immediately begins to glow brightly, illuminating the darkness. The encounter is defeated. Okay, so that encounter is gone, and now it's not holding me back from interacting with these other things I see. So let's check out, well, let's go to 86. Let's do 286. The lid opens with a creak. The inside is full of dust and cobwebs and appears to be empty. Looking closer, you see a small box in the corner of the chest. Also, I keep skipping to 2, but I'm not reading the 1s. So 1 means just look at it. So maybe I should just be looking at the chest before I try to open it. So let's do 186. The wooden chest is worn and dust covered. There doesn't seem to be a lock on it, but as you draw near, the voice you've been hearing suddenly echoes loudly in the cavern. Find me. And then I just went ahead and opened it before I even looked at it. So I'm going to read entry 100. As soon as you picked up the box and lifted it out of the chest, the voice stopped and the cave fell silent. It had been quite an adventurous day, so you decided to head back to your room and not mention the box to your grandmother, although you couldn't quite explain why. The box sat on your bed, beckoning you. Upon closer inspection, you saw that it was made of dark purple wood and had intricate markings etched all over it. A golden clasp with a small keyhole kept the lid locked. You reached into the drawer next to your bed and retrieved the set of lockpicks that your father had given you as a birthday gift. Working the picks into the keyhole while trying to remember how your father showed you proved tricky. After a few moments, there was a faint click and the lid of the box opened. Inside was a silver amulet on a long, thin chain and a rolled-up piece of parchment. The amulet begged to be worn, so without knowing exactly why, you placed it around your neck. A bit of relief watched over you when nothing happened. Thinking these things might just be fancy trinkets from the gift shop, you pulled out the parchment and unrolled it. The page was almost entirely blank, but for a single sentence in the middle of the page, written in a small, shiny green ink. A witch I wish to be, a witch for all to see. I wish to waken the witch inside of me. The words seemed silly, but you read them aloud anyway, unsure of why you were doing so. As soon as you spoke the final word, a bright flash erupted from the amulet around your neck, accompanied by a feeling of intense cold throughout your body. When your eyes adjusted to the dim light of the room, you looked down at the parchment again. To your surprise, the words were changing. Congratulations, young witch. You didn't read those words aloud, but as you read them, you wished you hadn't. Story completed. Prologue. This concludes the tutorial demo. Thank you so much for playing. So we brought that crate back up to the bedroom, and I didn't even get a chance to investigate 62 over there. For some reason, I thought that would be the answer of the nibblers, which was the quest I was trying to defeat. But instead, I got a little quest of my own here, and now we have an extra little crate of witchy stuff, and the true witchy adventure is about to begin. So check the link in the description if that looked interesting. I am a backer already, but the post-campaign pledge manager, late pledge, that's what it's called, is now available for an indeterminate amount of remaining time. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and bye.